Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. Hello there, everybody. So glad to be here with you. Another round of amazing interviews today. We're going to have on deck for you today. People are up to big things through nonprofits. There are startup nonprofits, established nonprofits, ones that are making that big difference in the world. And the leaders here that we talk to are those spiritual rock stars. You can learn from them. If you're in a nonprofit and you want to get insights on maybe being more empowered and becoming as impactful as you could, or if you're into supporting nonprofits, it's a great show to listen into. We have, again, a number of people here for you to tune in with. Maria Aparis is helping those that are being trafficked by others for human trafficking. So she is helping with that, and you can hear all about that from her. She's just been making a big difference, getting that going in the world. And then we also have Precious, who, man, she just lights up a room. Her smile, her energy, and she's going to share with you about what they're doing in Uganda and in Africa, empowering others through love and action and beyond medical missions, which we know that without the empowerment, we just don't make the same kind of impact. So I think we can learn a lot from what she has to share about that. And then also, we are also talking with Florence, Monzon, and she is going to talk to us about her non-for-profit, helping the kids that are in unity programs around the world, how that her non-profit helps them, so that our kids are waking up, enlightened and in that heart space and utilizing the deep wisdom teachings of unity and the oneness to manifest incredible lives. And my kids are a part of it, so I can attest that it's amazing. So go ahead and check it all out. They all share wisdom around how to have more success, more impact, be more awakened, be that spiritual rock star. So I'm looking forward to hearing from y'all about how this is touching your life. Enjoy these very brief interviews with these three incredible spiritual rock stars. So glad to be here with you, Maria Aparis. We have an amazing guest here briefly to talk with you here at the City Summit. And I wanted to talk to you. You're doing amazing things, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. First, I wanted to ask you, what does it mean to you to be a spiritual rock star?
Wow, spiritual rock star. I think that's the first time I've been called a spiritual rock star. I think what does it mean to me? Well, thank you. It's an honor to be called that. I think that everyone has the potential to be a spiritual rock star no matter what they're doing in their life. Mm-hmm. And it takes stepping out of maybe their comfort zone to push back through any barriers that they feel that they might not be empowered enough to step into their spiritual rock star. Mm-hmm. But I feel that it's innate within us, within all of us. So if it hasn't come out, it's maybe just lying dormant in everyone.
Yeah, right. Oh, thank you. That is so true. And so I also wanted you to share with us, what are the big shifts you're bringing forth into the world with your work?
So first of all, I think the biggest shift for me is to lead by example. Mm-hmm. And I feel that as a woman and feeling empowered in my own self mm-hmm. is the first step to really showing and leading by example of how one doesn't have to fit inside any kind of mold or feel that they're not enough mm-hmm. if you're just one person starting out to do something that's outside of your wheelhouse. Right. So social entrepreneurship is new for me in terms of starting a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. I've been an entrepreneur in the past and have had several successful businesses, mm-hmm. but in terms of a nonprofit social entrepreneurship, this is my first time. Mm-hmm. So it is not, in a sense, in my wheelhouse and how to begin, mm-hmm. but doing something outside of my comfort zone, I feel, is also what's needed in terms of leading by example, because if we stay in that realm of what's comfortable, we'll never push our limits and grow and expand. And that's what the universe is constantly asking us to do: move, expand, grow.
Wow. And so what's the difference that you're making in the world right now?
So I'm focused on rescuing children from sex trafficking and organ harvesting. And so it's a really deep subject that takes a lot of the shadow. But what I feel I'm bringing to it is hope and light through love. And so I focus on what can we do versus what's happening, and focusing on the rescue, also the reclaiming of their lives, and the recovery. So it's this 3-step process. So rescue, recovery, and then reclaiming. So that means empowering the children and the women who have been trafficked to really reclaim their lives, and helping them with education, building skills, giving them tools that will help them create new stories, new pathways.
Oh, wow. And how do you do that? Tell us just briefly about that.
So one of the ways is we fund and support rescue missions that take place globally. Another way is that we have programs that we have basically aligned with that help support and ease the trauma and give tools for that. And so there's a camp, ages 9 to 14, that we can send the children to, and then from ages 14 to 18 there's an equine program that we can send them to, and then from 18 and over, those are the scholarships that I'm asking for. So whether it's a trade in hair, cosmetics, esthetician, or bookkeeping, any skill or trade that will enable them to just really take care of themselves and teach them a trade that is gives them self-esteem and self-empowerment.
So you're like an earth angel, right? That's how I see it.
So you say, if that's how you see it, then thank you.
Yes, you're an angel on earth.
I'm not going to turn that down and say, no, that's not me. I'm just going to say thank you.
Absolutely.
That's a blessing.
So
thank you.
Thank you for being that, and the difference you're making with that, and all the great things I know you're up to in the world, I can sense. So I'm grateful for you. Thank you for this time together.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're here. We're having an amazing time here at the City Summit, and I'm here now with Precious
from Uganda.
From Uganda.
Yes.
And we're going to go ahead and you're just up to amazing things. I was hearing you from stage talking about what you're doing, and we wanted to talk to you because you really are embodying, doing the great work in the world that we talk about that's needing to be done right now,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So we wanted to ask you, what does it mean to you to be a spiritual rock star?
To be a spiritual rock star is to dig deep inside of you, to reach out to people with the life purpose that you are created to be. That's how I look at it. Yeah, once you dig inside of you, we're all created to do something in this world. So to be a spiritual rock star is to dig deep in that, and then actually radiate it into the world using your life purpose.
Wow, yeah. We're meeting such amazing people that actually understand what it means to be a spiritual rock star. I love it.
Dig deep.
Yeah,
Dig deep. Yes.
So, and then I wanted to talk to you about the work that you're up to. So what big world-changing difference are you making right now?
We are out saving the world. In particular, we do medical missions, and this is in Uganda and other African countries, and we're spreading around the world, especially for children. Many kids are dying prematurely in Uganda and other African countries. So, like recently, we just had a kid who is 12 years old and had testicular cancer, and it's stage 4. Spreading all over, even into his lungs. So we took him under foundation, Precious Kids Foundation, and we are treating him. He's gone through 2 rounds of chemo right now. So we are literally out there preventing premature death that happens so rampantly over things that are really preventable. and that can be dealt with quickly and then help a person go back to normal life.
So, and how do you help them exactly? Can
Right.
you tell me a little bit more about that?
Right,
Yeah.
so I do have a background as a neuroscience registered nurse, and using that, they train us prevention is better than cure. So my past has some history where my dad passed away in 2015. 3 months later, my auntie passes away. 6 months later, my grandmother passes away. So within a year, we have death happening back to back. And having taken care of orphans and widows and single moms for about 12 years, at that time I was like, okay, we are empowering them and taking care of them, but now this hit home when it became really personal. So using my background as a neuroscientist, they train us prevention is better than cure. So let's go back down. What is causing the premature death that causing so many orphans, so many widows and all that? So when we go and treat that, we are actually preventing the premature death. So September in last year, 2019, we treated about 5,000 patients and we delivered babies. And actually one of the babies was not going to make it at that time because the mother we had to do C-section. Had we not been there as an organization, this is a lady who was going to die giving birth. And we hear a lot of that happening, but we don't know what exactly happened. Why did she die during childbirth?
You dig into that through the neuroscience.
That neuroscientist comes in handy. He comes in handy. So we do that, and that's why we say we prevent premature death by going backwards and say what is actually causing it.
In terms of what their mental patterns are, or the way
Not exactly.
That part, or
Not
what?
exactly. So, being a neuroscientist, I'm a registered nurse professionally, but with an attachment or with an expertise as a neuroscientist. So, what it is we go in and we set up a football field set, like in an area, imagine a football field, right? Then put in tents in that place. And each tent, maybe about 10 tents, each tent is a specialty doctor. Now that can be, we even have a dentist, we have a general doctor, we have a pediatrician, and different ones. So patients come in free of charge from one to the other. So if we have someone who has had an infection, that infection can be treated, and if we treat it, it's good. If we don't treat it, that person did not get treatment, they become septic. When you become septic, you die, and when they die prematurely, very preventable, then next thing you know, they're leaving a kids. Now those are orphans, they're leaving a wife, she's now a widow. So that's why we go backwards and it's like, can we treat that wound right away? And when we treat it, we don't have the sepsis, therefore the person doesn't die. So that's why I was like in September when we treated the 5,000, if we have an estimate of maybe 10% of the 5,000 came in and they received treatment, which eventually prevented a premature death, that is our aim.
I see.
That is our aim.
I see.
Yes.
Prevention. You were talking about that from stage. Right?
Yes, yes.
Prevention. I know it's always a big believer. Why wait for things to go crazy when we could be preventing things, right?
Right. And we've been doing that. So we did that 2018. Our organization, Precious Kids Foundation, right? We did that 2018. We did that 2019. It is new in doing that, but my expertise of taking care of orphans and widows has been since for about 12 years. And that's when it's like, no, we can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. Let's do something about it.
Wonderful. And so last thing is just, what advice would you have for other people that have like a big purpose inside of themselves?
Right.
What advice would you give them to activate that, move that forward?
Dig into it. Dig into it and just go out. When we started the medical missions in 2018 was the first time we did that. Yes, I have a background. I'm a medical personnel. I've been taking care of orphans and all that, but it doesn't mean that I knew everything. What I know is you dig into you and knowing your life purpose and knowing, you know what, if at all I'm going to save that one life, if at all my being there is going to train this person, because after we treat them, we actually also empower them. So we do entrepreneurship trainings, because it's one thing to treat them and leave them there, but it's another thing to actually empower them through entrepreneurship, because so many diseases are actually grounded into poverty.
Right.
Lack of water, clean water, sanitation, nutrition, medication to actually treat them. So I tell people, whatever your skills are, dig into that. whatever your talents are, dig into that and go out, and many people out there will be waiting for your awakening. That's how I look at it.
Yes,
Many people out there will be waiting for your awakening. So when we feel, and trust me, it doesn't come natural. It does not come natural, but many people you would feel like, oh, I can't do that, oh, that is too massive, or anything. You dig into that and let that fuel you, because you know the one who created you with a purpose,
Right.
and that purpose is to go out and help so many other people out there.
Right.
So anybody out there, I would definitely encourage anybody out there, whatever it is. It could be in your hometown. Could be in your hometown. Whatever that you know is your gift and talent will be an answer to somebody's prayer. Because out there they are like, how can I? They're stuck in like somewhere. But once you go in, it actually helps them. Once you go, and even talking to people. I have a lady who came to us because when we go do the medical missions, we actually take teams. I take volunteers, both medical and non-medical, so that they can serve in whatever capacity they are gifted in, their expertise. And this lady, she's like, I just want to hug on orphans. And we have a video of her hugging 100 kids. And to her, that was her gift. And now, to another person, okay, it's a hug. But she gives you this hug that you know you're loved. And she holds your face and she's like, you are loved, and I want you to know that. It takes you further.
Everybody, people underappreciate the gifts they are in all these different ways. I know people have whole, missions around hugging people. I mean, hugging saints, Anna, and
It is healing.
Yes,
it is healing.
Yes. There's so many things we can do. It's teaching people to smile. Whatever it is your gift is, however simple it
Share
seems,
it. The world is waiting for that. Yes.
So thank you so much, Precious, for all you're doing.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing,
Thanks for
what
having
you're doing,
me.
and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Really. Thank you for having me.
All right, so I'm here with Florence Monzon, and I'm grateful to meet you. Wow, it's such a pleasure. When I heard you were doing this not-for-profit that also benefits like Unity and the kids programs that my kids are a part of, as far as like here in the States, I was just lit up with energy and just like, whoa, that is so amazing. So I'm grateful to be meeting with you. We're gonna get more into that in a moment. I've been asking everybody this question. We're Spiritual Rockstar podcast show. We're asking people, what does it mean to you to be a spiritual rock star?
A spiritual rock star. Wow. I believe that being spiritual makes you instantly a star and you rock. And so spiritual rock star is the perfect name for being spiritual. When you are connected with Source, with the spirit that lives, moves, and has its presence and power in you, in me, in everyone, how will you not rock? And that's what I mean to be spiritual, having the consciousness, having the presence, having that knowing that you are more than just this physical body, and that there is a spirit within us that unites us all as one, that knows the highest and best for us, and that provides for us every moment, and that is constantly here for us, for good. And when we are connected into that center of good, that is power. And when we are aware of that and believe in it and consciously accept that, then we really are truly prosperous in the best sense of the word, because to me prosperity is being connected with Source.
And that leads us into your not-for-profit. So I'd love for you to tell people how you're making a big impact. What is your not-for-profit and how you're making a big impact through that?
Our Unity Philippines provides by partnering with other organizations like Building Lives for a Better Future that empowers kids from indigenous places like the mountains who have not even heard about religion or been in the civilization and yet are walking to their school 4 to 6 hours to get to school and get education. Now our nonprofit is able to help this organization house, feed, clothe them, and provide for their school supplies, and at the same time build some livelihood programs for their families so they can be a real community that is engaged with the real community.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
And
amazing.
I'd like for that to be in every community, not just for the indigenous kids, because a lot of the places in the Philippines really need better understanding of how the spiritual power that is within us provides
Right.
all the resources, all the inspiration, even the minute details that we need every moment is provided for us.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so beautifully said. I mean, it's so beautifully said. It's that thing that, for me, I discovered in Science of Mind. You know.
Yes,
from
Ernest
Science,
Holmes.
right? I was like, how liberating it was to become awake to what I already knew somewhere deep down inside, that there's this power that's just making it all happen, and when we connect with that, we can experience such fulfillment just from that energy, and then we get to experience what unfolds from that into our human experience, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
It's amazing that you're teaching kids about that as well, on top of all the great things you're providing to them. Is what I'm hearing. So that's awesome. So one last thing for those visionary spiritual entrepreneurs that want to be making a big difference in the world, aspire to do their thing. What advice do you have to them to be able to do that, to bring that out into the world to their next level?
For the longest time, I've been I'm sharing, but only to a few. But because of this summit, I see that there is much more I can do through social media, through putting it out there and putting it out in the world. And I've been playing small because I'm the introvert kind. I would really be very good at one-on-one and not with a lot of people. And now I see that because we have these unique gifts that are just wanting for us to be fully expressed. And when we step in that place where we can own our power and fully express it, then all that being introvert, being shy, being not enough, being not the kind of person who can put it out there, they all dissolve and go away and give you this empowerment that I teach others, and not really realize that I need to be empowered too, to empower others. I am so dedicated and committed to doing that, and because of that commitment and that dedication, I'm so willing to step it up and really have this consciousness and this knowledge be taught to every person, and for everybody to hear and awaken to this lavish abundance that's always here, and why are we not using it to our advantage?
Oh, that's just so beautiful. You beautifully transmit the energy, and the way you speak about it is amazing, and I look forward to hearing more and more about how you're getting out there to talking about it and sharing it, because whatever you've done so far has already been working out well to do all of the good you've already provided, and I just look forward to hearing the reports of how it's expanding, because I feel it.
I would love to. I would love to. I see it expanding. I see it all there, and I see that the level of awareness and conviction, because it's all up to us. It's always here, but we have to believe it, accept it, and feel deserving of this wonderful provision that we're giving every day. Just like the sunshine, it just shines.
Right, it's there.
It's there.
Let it shine brilliantly.
And even though it's overcast, it rains, it doesn't matter, because that sun is always shining, just like the light within us that's always shining and ready to be even brighter when we allow it.
Well, thank you so much, Florence, for everything you share. It's such a blessing, and I just, again, I look forward to continuing to learn more about what's unfolding through your organizations.
Thank you so much, and thank you for this time to ask me about it. And I am so enthusiastic because I feel the passion all over. Just by you asking it, gives me the direction, the life, the passion and the feeling that everything is really opening up in all ways, in all channels. And it's wonderful.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste. Okay. All right. You're listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.